जय बिहार जय गोपी जनावल्लभा गिरिवरधाम गोपी जनावल्लभा जय गोपी जनावल्लभा गिरिवरधारी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं Samudana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sarana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Nadipriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pambundam Gayatri Divya Yat Kripa Tamaham Bante Shri Guru Vinatarinam Paramanandamatavam Shri Chaitanya Swaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, verse number 12. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamatyam. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamatyam. Ye chanada sutta suhudet grihavettadara. Ye chanada sutta suhudet grihavettadara. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padana venda. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padana venda. Saugandhya lobdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Saugandhya lobdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Ye chanada sutta suhurit griha vittadara. Ye chanada sutta suhurit griha vittadara. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padana venda. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padana venda. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Ye chanada sutta suhurit griha vittadara. Ye chanada sutta suhurit griha vittadara. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padara venda. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padara venda. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam. Ye chanvat sutta surut griha vittadara. Ye chanvat sutta surut griha vittadara. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padara vinda. Ye tvajjana bhavadiya padara vinda. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga. Tena smaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam.
वित्तदारः
ये चान्मदस्तुतसुगृहवित्तदारः
त्वब्जनाभवदीयपदारविन्द
ये त्वब्जना भवदीयपदारविन्दा
प्रसङ्गः
सौगन्धलुब्धहृदयेषु कृता प्रसङ्गाः तेना स्मरन्ते नितरां प्रियमीशमर्त्यम् ये चान्नदासितसुहृद्गृहविद्यदारः ये त्वब्जना भवदीयपदारविन्दा सौगन्धलुब्धहृदयेषु कृता प्रसङ्गा ते na never smaranti remember atitaram highly priyam dear isha oh Lord martyam material body ye they who cha also anu in relationship with ada that Sutta, sons, Suhrit, friends, Griha, home, Vitta, wealth, Dara, and wife. Ye, those who, two, then, Abjanabha, O Lord, who have a lotus level, Bhavadiya, of your, Padaravinda, lotus feet, Saugandhya, the fragrance, Lubdha, have achieved, Hridayeshu, with devotees whose hearts, Krita Prasanga, have association. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, who have a lotus navel, if a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after a lotus field, seeking always their fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a worldly relationship to offspring, friends, home, wealth, and wife, which are very, very dear to materialistic persons. Indeed, he does not care for purport by his language. ऐसे Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A special advantage in devotional service is that devotees not only enjoy the transcendental pastimes of the Lord by hearing and chanting and glorifying them, but also are not very much attached to their bodies, unlike the yogis who are too attached to the body and who think that by performing bodily gymnastic exercises, they will advance in spiritual consciousness. Yogis are generally not very much interested in devotional service. They want to regulate the breathing process. This is simply a bodily concern. Here Dhruva Maharaj plainly says that a devotee has no more bodily interest. He knows that he is not the body. Therefore, from the very beginning, without wasting time in bodily exercises, a devotee searches out a pure devotee and simply by his association becomes more advanced in spiritual consciousness than any yogi. Because a devotee knows that he is not the body, he is never affected by bodily happiness or distress. He is not interested in bodily relationships with wife, children, home, bank balance, etc., or in the distress and happiness which come from these things. This is the special advantage of being a devotee. This status of life is possible only when a person is interested in associating with a pure devotee who always enjoys the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord. Translation once again. O Lord, who have a lotus navel, if a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always their fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a bodily relationship to offspring, friends, home, wealth, and wife, which are very, very dear to materialistic persons. Indeed, he does not care for them. So this verse is spoken by Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj himself met a pure devotee of the Lord Narada Muni. And under the guidance of Narada Muni, when Dhruva Maharaj practiced devotional service, his heart very quickly became completely pure. And he is, his heart is now attracted only towards the Lord and nothing else. And here, he, by his own example, is um, is stating with his own example that anybody who get attached or who has the association of a devotee who hankers after his lotus feet. It is actually very rare in this world to find devotees who have developed a hankering for the lotus feet of the Lord. And if one can somehow associate with those devotees who are hankering for the lotus feet of the Lord, those people, by associating with such pure devotees, one can become free from all bodily relationships with one's um, Prabhupada says, mm, house, children, wife, bank balance. And Prabhupada says, and the happiness and distress which comes from these things. Uh, So Prabhupada is saying how attachment to these things will bring happiness and distress. The happiness that comes from these things is little, but the distress that comes from these things is very much. But but we interestingly, it's not needed at this point of time that we are pure devotees. Just association of those, which is basically our spiritual masters and pure devotees, and our various gurus. Just by associating with them, just by if we become dear to them, and if they become dear to us, our life is resolved. There is this teaching of Lord Kapila to his mother, and Devahuti was feeling the pangs of separation after Kradava left her. And Devahuti is begging Lord Kapila to help her come out of this separation anxiety, this attachments, which is causing so much suffering. And Lord Kapila told the same thing. Lord Kapila told Mother Devahuti, you get attached to a devotee who is hankering for the Lord. Narottam Das Thakur, he prays when that day will come, when the devotee will say that Narottama is mine, Apanara Bodhi. So our greatest fortune is if one sincere devotee can can claim us. If the devotee can look at us or think about us, and the devotee can say that, okay, this devotee is mine, or this devotee is under my protection. The moment we receive the shelter, the moment we receive the protection of a devotee, we can be saved from so many difficult circumstances. Just by seeing a devotee, just by speaking few words to the devotee, everything, all these emotions, these pangs of modes that we go through, everything will like fly off. This is the power of a devotee. Our greatest fortune, I mean, there is a book by Gaur Govind Maharaj, and he names the book When Good Fortune Arises. Our good fortune, great fortune, best fortune is when we meet devotees in our lives. And one must be very careful when one is dealing with these devotees because they are very dear to Krishna. By their blessings, by their mercy, you can just break open. But the other side, if we displease them, Prabhupada, it creates a great havoc in our spiritual life. Great havoc in our spiritual life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says um, one should be very careful with devotees because devotees are dear to Krishna's heart. This reminds me of this example of Durvasa Muni offended Ambarish Maharaj. He went and the Lord said, the devotees are in my heart and I am in the heart of my devotees. This is the relationship that devotee has with Krishna. Krishna is always thinking about his devotees and devotees are thinking about Krishna. The relationship they have with the Lord is very intimate. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, um, one should not one should not speak criticism of a Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu says the moment we criticize a Vaishnava, it's like drinking poison. Now see, even if your health is very good and you are drinking this all these red juices and green juices and eating all these healthy millets and you are doing so much for so many years, and then you drink a little bit of poison and then everything is like finished. Everything is gone. Till the effect of poison is removed. Everything is like, it doesn't matter how nicely we have taken care of it. Little bit of poison is finished. So likewise, we may be very careful in our Vishnu consciousness and we may kind of nurture and chant the holy names and chant Bhagavatam and some service we do. And then if we speak criticism of a Vaishnava, then it's like some poison is added to it and the effect is gone. Immediately, see, to see the effect of our sadhana takes long time, but to see the mal effects of criticism, it's like immediately see that mal effects. The next day you get up and chant, hey, yesterday was so nice, what happened? No absorption, nothing, everything is gone, finished. Then Mahaprabhu says, little bit of poison, everything is finished. And then what do we do once we have drunk poison? Fortunately, see, mistakes will happen. Sometimes we may speak something. The thing is, the devotee doesn't even need to know what we spoke. Krishna is sitting in our heart. And the moment Krishna notices, you are speaking bad about my devotee, all right. You chant, I will dance on your tongue very nicely tomorrow. But fortunately, if somebody drinks a poison, one is dead actually. But in Krishna consciousness, the great fortune is um, even if we criticize a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says we can come out of that mal effects by glorifying those devotees. The effect can be removed. But what it requires one takes a humble position. That's all it takes. And then one can be reinstated. See, devotees are most merciful. There is no devotee, you cannot offend a devotee in any way that cannot be forgiven by devotee. It's all about taking shelter of a devotee. One cannot do grave offenses like how Jagai Madai did to Nityananda Prabhu. And so many devotees are offended in such severe ways. But because the devotees are so wonderful, their heart is so loving and so compassionate. The moment you take shelter of a devotee of the Lord, the devotee is like, come. The devotee is more willing to accept actually. Devotee is very kind. Anything can happen, every desire can be fulfilled if we receive the blessings and mercy of a devotee. Yesterday, very nice conversation. We were reading, I loved it. We were reading from Ramayana. Um, there's a conversation between Tara and Bali. Lord Ram, he killed Vali. So Vali said, Vali was like, he was like he is fighting with Sugriv. And then Sugriv was like about Vali was about to kill Sugriv. That time from behind the bushes, Ram shot an arrow and pierced the heart of Vali. Vali fell down. And it is said that Vali has this gold necklace which was given by Indra. So because of that, Vali could survive for some more time. Although the arrow pierced the heart of Vali. Bali, like gasping breath, and Bali said, Ram, um, I have heard you are very pious. I have heard you are very pious. I was engaged in a fair combat with Sugriv. I did not even, I mean, I was not fighting with you. I haven't harmed you anyway. Then why is it that you shot arrow on me? Uh, I have heard that you are very virtuous. Then how could you do such an invirtuous act, shooting an arrow from behind for no reason? The monkey's flesh are not fit to be eaten by humans also, then what can be the possible reason because of which you have eaten me now? Uh, And this arrow was burning inside the heart of Vali, and Vali was lamenting, and Vali was saying that Ram, you didn't do the right thing. Um, you will have to go through the reaction for what you have done. And then Vali became almost unconscious. And then after a few moments, and again Vali regained consciousness. And then Ram spoke. Amazing, actually. Then Lord Ram said, um, Vali, you are telling you are innocent, but actually you are wicked. You are a proud monkey, and you have done two mistakes because of which you deserve the punishment I gave you. One mistake you did is the younger brother should be treated as one son, but you actually abandoned him and tried to kill him. Second mistake you did is you abducted the wife of Sugriv, Luma, by force. The punishment for one who has abducted some one younger son's wife is that he has to go to hell. But because I am, on the other hand, I am the king of this earth, or my Bharat, and I'm representative of Bharat. Bharat is the king, acting king, and I am his brother. So it is my duty to make sure that law and order is in place. And that's why the punishment I've given you as a king is just. And if you're thinking, why did I shoot you from behind? Then know that the kings kill animals or monkeys in this way, in the form of hunting. And so the way I have killed you is also just. And just these words, these are the only words Lord Ram spoke. And because Bali, although initially he had a hard heart towards Sugriva and others. But because of the arrow of Lord Ram and because of the words spoken by Lord Ram, Vali took a humble position. And Vali said, Ram, and he was like he was dying. He was hardly able to speak. He takes one breath and then he could speak few words, and then with great difficulty he takes another breath and then he speaks few more words. And then Vali said, Ram, what you spoke is just. Um, I have always um, lamented in a way I treated Sugriv, but somehow or other I never rectified my action. And so I can see, and I was always guilty of um, um, keeping Vali's wife under Sugriva's wife under my jurisdiction. I was guilty of that also. And I can see that my own past has come back to me, and the punishment you have given me is actually justified. Then Vali called Sugriva, and Vali said, um, "Please forgive me." Vali also said, Vali also told Ram that Ram told Vali that because you have been killed by me, you have been killed by the king. All your sinful actions are nullified. And now, without grief, you can leave this body, and heaven is waiting for you. And Bali said, my anxiety is my son Angada. I don't want, I have a fear of Angada being mistreated by Sugriv. Then Ram said, I assure you that Sugriv will, and my wife Tara. Uh, Bali told Ram, these are my anxieties. Then Lord Ram said, I assure you that Sugriv will rule the kingdom with perfect righteousness. and will make Angada as his minister and will treat him just the way as one's father. So in this way, the conversation was happening. That time Tara came. Tara was Vali's wife. Tara came out. When Tara saw Vali was lying down, Tara came to the scene. She started lamenting. She started beating her chest. Then Sugriv told Tara that you be under the care of Sugriv. I mean, Vali told Tara, you be under care of Sugriv. And he told Sugriv that here is the necklace or the kingly throne that I'm giving it to you. And always seek good advice from Tara. I'm lamenting because I did not take the advice of Tara this time. So in this way, there was very emotional time going on. And then um, Vali took permission from Lord Ram, and seeing the face of Lord Ram, Vali left the body. And Tara was lamenting. Uh, Tara told Lord Ram that the wife is considered as half of the husband. You have already killed Vali. Now please fulfill your desire by killing Vali completely by shooting an arrow to me also. And she was heavily lamenting, how can I live? I am the most devoted servant of Vali. Vali cannot be happy even in the heaven with Apsaras, knowing me to be the most devoted servant. So please give me the same destination and that will be just. And who can understand the pain of separation from one's wife than you yourself? You yourself are going through that experience. Um, Please give me this one benediction to please either let me enter into the funeral pyre with Vali or shot an arrow into me. Then Ram spoke very wonderfully. Then, and Vali already departed. Then Ram told Tara, Lord Ram said, um, that, know that all the relationships in this world are illusion. The real identity is that you are a spirit self, and the only real relationship is between you and the Lord, and that you are a eternal servant of the Lord. That is the only true relationship. And regarding lamentation, Lord Ram said, Providence has destined you to get the same happiness you have with Vali in future. It's already arranged by Providence. Now you can and don't and um, Lord Ram also says something like whatever is destined for Vali, he he is given that by the providence, and whatever is destined by you will be given to you by the providence also. So there is no point in lamenting or taking basically control of life or um, something like that. And when Tara heard from the words of Lord Ram, it is said she gave up her lamentation, she gave up her grief. She felt relief. Tara felt relief. So, what gives us so much anxiety and so much pain in this world is our conceptions of our life, our attachments, our conceptions. And what gives relief in this world is transcendental knowledge. And this transcendental knowledge is received from the mouth of realized souls, realized devotees. And that's why devotees can give us relief from the suffering in this material world. And this pain and pleasure, Lord Ram also said, this pain and pleasure is also illusory because they feel like pain and pleasure based on our conception of life. And the moment devotees rectify our consciousness and change the conception of our life to something more eternal and something more divine, then because the pain and pleasure were coming from an illusory conception, when that conception is changed, our outlook to life completely changes. We see a similar instance with Maharaj Chitraketu, who was in great grief because of the death of his son. But when he heard the transcendental words of Narada Muni and Parvat Muni, Chitraketu Maharaj became relieved and pacified. And then he took up to the worship of the Lord. So this Bhagavatam, this transcendental knowledge, and we can see there was one family whose son was actually about to leave the body. The son was only 11 years old, just few months back. Suddenly, son developed some disease. He was hospitalized. And the result came that he's in the last stage. He has maybe few more days to live. And then one of the devotee, he went and he read a second chapter of Bhagavad Gita with that family. That how we are all eternal and nothing can happen to the soul. Family actually at least for some time they went through it. So this transcendental knowledge, this devotee association, this Bhagavatam, this is the solace that a devotee has.
Yeah, I think that mm, Krishna personally orchestrates everything in one's life. If one so desires, Krishna orchestrates everything in one's life so that he can attain that, you know, that transcendental happiness in devotional service by helping to remove all the both the pious and the sinful activities which are standing in the way of rendering uh, pure devotional service. So yeah, I think that is the greatest solace for a devotee, that whatever suffering or happiness is going through will help to attain that, you know the transcendental happiness, service of the Lord. So yeah, that is the only hope for devotee. And yeah, this verse is, yeah, very wonderful, that Prabhupada is saying that the only desire should be actually to get the association of um, the pure devotees. And like you said very nicely, that we should act in such a way that we can become dear to them. And if we do that, mm, then they can also become dear to us. Actually, Ranath Maharaj said this very nicely. That he said, disciples' vision should be like this: that everything in this world should, any moving or non-moving object should actually remind the disciple of the instruction of the spiritual master. If he can always see the spiritual master in the form of his instructions, then I heard my spiritual master saying that if you always see Guru everywhere, Guru and Guru's instructions, then you will never fall into Maya. So yeah, very powerful.
Anything else?
And so contact 15 question. I'm sorry to say the part, but today only this question coming in mind. I was hearing from second kind of human power that devotional service is not accomplishment, or it is not like I have something achieved in devotional service, but it is we are the instrument in the hands of Hari Guru and Vaishnava all the time. That is devotional service. But still, my question is that, when we say that Nama Rupa Lila Guna, so are these like progressive stages, like one has completely, get ruchi about the Nama, and then only you will get attraction towards the Rupa, and then you will recognize the qualities of God and, catch hold of lotus feet of God. or is it happening at the same time?
So probably first the mind will become steady. In the beginning, mind is very disturbed. We chant and mind is all over the place. Then mind will start to listen. Mind will become steady. When mind becomes steady, mind becomes little focused, then rupa may manifest. Then with rupa, as rupa becomes more focused, the naam will become more relishable. So it's like it requires there is some is required, some naam attention is required for going to rupa. Then rupa will further enhance naam. This naam will continue growing till Leela also naam will continue growing. The naam, the way the naam will speak to us now will be much different than, so it's not that we'll perfect the naam and then we go to rupa. And when we are on naam and rupa, to understand the qualities of Krishna is very, very hard. If we try also, it will be artificial. Slowly, the heart will start melting from the qualities of the Lord. One quality that may take a long time. So the quality guna is a long phase. This the guna relation is a long phase. Leela is like some lifetime. We can try rupa, we can try guna, we can try leela, but it won't stay with us for long. Some special mercy is there, and one day we can access guna or one day we can access leela, but it won't be our constitutional state. We cannot, like it is said, we cannot bypass any stage. It will go through those phases only. And we are not so much focused on attaining those. Those are the gift of our pleasing Guru and Krishna. So those are not something that we can attain, or we can try and we can put our mind, or we can use some strategy and some technique and we can access this. No, these are all part of revolution. What we can do is we can serve and we can grill ourselves in our devotional service. And when Krishna comes, slowly things will become more and more revealed, and it is very slow revelation. In the beginning, we will be like become little impatient, try to capture, but it won't help us. Very slow. This much. And then after 5, 10 years of devotional service, I see a little bit more. So that's how the progress will be. Shanai bolte. Very, very gradual.
So at this level, rupa will be, I mean, one should not think like some people like say, taking God's picture and we chant sometimes. Right? So that will be disturbance right? Like this sadhana stages.
If it stays with you, fine. You can try what I've heard. You can try with the form. You can try to keep the form in your mind. But if the form goes here and there, goes away, then no need to try that. Come back to form. Even if we go to stage of guna, if because of some mistake we are not able to access guna, then we can try rupa. If we are at rupa, we cannot access rupa, we can try now. We always come back to now. And also I have heard it's not it's the Naam who reveals these things to us. It's within Naam. We hear the Naam, and from the Naam it emanates and we can access it. It's not something that we try and it is different from the Naam, because the Naam has all this state.
Thank you. That's great.
I mean, in my humble opinion, the only option we have is we keep serving. And then when Krishna wants, what Krishna wants. There is in one more thought came. We can think of the Lord, the form of Gopijana Vallabha. If it stays very good. I have also heard Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he describes the Rupa. And the way Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur describes the Rupa, he describes like every detail of Krishna's earring, every detail of Krishna's nose ring, every detail of Krishna's toes. He describes the Rupa, he describes just the eyes of Krishna, the lips of Krishna, the hairs of Krishna, the complexion of Krishna. He describes the Rupa in such a way, in so artistic, every ring of Krishna. So the Rupa revelation that they have will be quite different from the Rupa relation which we may have in our state of Krishna consciousness. And because they have access that level of devotion, that level of rupa is revealed to them. And if you try to focus, it won't help. It's something that comes, it's something that is revealed when the Lord is pleased with us. One set. Okay. Any other question? Comment? Yes. Right. Okay. We'll end here. Thank you all for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasinduve Vachapatidhanam. Facebook and Spotify. Anantakoti Vaishnavendra.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was